Okay, good morning, sixth graders. It is Wednesday, April 22nd. I hope you're all doing well, staying healthy and helping mom and dad at home with chores and just not getting in any trouble and doing all your work. All right, so today we are going to go to page 23. We are going to write and interpret algebraic expressions. All right, so it says write an algebraic expression for each word, phrase, or situation. All right, so let's take a look at number one. Number one says 12 more than 8.2 times a number n. All right, well, these can be a little bit tricky. We have to read it very, very carefully. It says 12 more than. Well, when it says 12 more than something else, then this something else goes first. So we write 8.2 times a number n. Well, remember, in algebra, we can just put that variable right next to it. We don't have to have a times sign or anything like that. The variable goes right next to the number, and that means to multiply. And then it says 12 more. Well, that's addition. Okay, so 12 more. So 12 more than 8.2 times a number. So this is how you would write that. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 2. 3 less than the quotient of 18 and a number n, m. All right, so again, 3 less than is going to come after the quotient of 18 and number m. All right, quotient we know is division. So 18 divided by m, and then we have to do the 3 less. 3 less means subtraction. So we've got 3 less than the quotient 18 over m. Okay, so we would solve this first if we knew what m equaled and then subtract 3. All right, so let's look at this one. It says 5 times the sum of 4 and number p. All right, so we have to come up with the sum. Oh, this is going to erase everything. Hold on. Oh, it didn't. If I try to erase that line, guys, the whole thing goes away. So I'm just going to leave it. So we have to write in here the sum of 4 and a number p. Oh, there it went away. Well, you should still have that on your screen, though. All right, so 5 times the sum of 4 and a number p. All right, so we have to do the 4, and we know that sum means to add, okay? Sum means to add. Quotient means to divide. And of course, times means to multiply. And less, the word less, where was less? This is subtraction. All right, so 5.6 times the sum of 4 and a number p. So we put these in parentheses. This is supposed to be a parentheses, not a C. Okay, for the sum of 4 and a number p, that's going to be, when we put it in parentheses, we know from order of operations, parentheses come first. So we would have to find 4 plus p. And after we did that, then we times what we get times 5.6. Okay? So when we come to this in a problem and somebody tells us what p is, you know, if the problem tells you p equals something, then let's say if p equals 3, then 4 plus 3 is 7. You do that first because parentheses comes first, then you multiply it by 5.6. So when we don't know what P equals, we just write 4 plus P. Okay, that would be done first and then multiply it. Okay, so these are just expressions. So that's one thing. Expressions are a little different. You're not looking for an answer there. Okay, there's not an equation which says equals something else. These are just expressions. All right, so on this one, it says the quotient of 2 and a number x times 3. Okay, so we do this one first because we don't see a number less than or more than. Okay, this we do first, the quotient of 2 and a number. Well, quotient we know is division. So 2 and a number, that's quotient. We got to find that. And then oh wait a minute, quotient and a number x, we did that, times 3. Okay, there we go. All right, all right. So let's move on to 5. I'm going to have to pause it to move my screen up. Okay, hold on. Okay, this one says 5 friends split the cost of parking at an amusement park. Each of them also buys a $30 ticket. Write an algebraic expression that represents the amount of money each friend spends. Identify any variables. All right. All right, so what they're doing, 5 friends are splitting the cost of parking. So what we would do, we don't know parking yet. So what we would do is here, P is going to stand for parking. And then they're going to divide that. Okay. But then also, they each bought a ticket. So plus 30 for the ticket they bought. So now let's identify the variable. We said that P equals parking. Okay. So let's just look back at our problem so that we can see why we wrote it this way. Me a while to write this out here. All right, so 5 friends split the cost of parking at an amusement park. Okay, so here's the cost of parking. The 5 friends are going to split it, but we don't know what that is yet. So we're just writing an expression. But then each of them also buys a $30 ticket. So each of them bought this. So we're writing an expression that represents the amount of money each friend spends. So each friend is going to divide the parking, whatever that is, plus their $30 ticket. So each of them will spend that. Okay? All right, let's move on to number 6. A movie theater is open X hours Monday through Thursday and Y hours Friday through Sunday. Write an algebraic expression that represents the number of hours per week the theater is open. Okay, so X, we are told, represents the hours Monday through Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is 4 days. So we've got 4 days at X hours. Okay, and then we add the weekend hours. So Y is the weekend hours, Friday through Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's 3 days at Y hours. So there's our expression, 4x plus 3y. All right. And number 7, interpret the meaning of the algebraic expression in each problem. All right. So let's take a look at 7. Andrew writes the algebraic expression 2s plus 2.79 to represent the cost of his lunch. He bought 2 sandwiches and a large drink. Identify any variables, coefficients, and terms in the expression. Tell what each represents. Okay, well, the variable, I'm just going to write V, but the variable is S. So S represents what? What do you think S represents? What did he buy that begins with an S? Represents, whoops, the price of each sandwich. I'm just going to shorten that. The price of each sandwich. Okay? All right. I should have typed this. That's what I should have done. Okay. So the coefficient is the number 2. Okay, so the coefficient, that's the number, is 2. It represents the number of sandwiches. Number of sandwiches. All right, I'm just going to put this here, and that means that I'm repeating that word. Okay, and then the terms, 2S represents the total cost of the sandwich. Terms, I'm shortening this a little bit. Terms, T, is the total cost of the sandwiches. Total cost of the sandwiches. Of sandwiches. Of, I'm going to shorten sandwich to sand. All right, but you know what I mean. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. And 2.79, does it tell us? Yeah, 2.79 is the large drink. Okay. Large drink. Large drink. Okay. So let's look that over again. Okay. So Andrew writes the algebraic expression 2s plus 2.79 to represent the cost, so that would be $2.79, to represent the cost of his lunch. So he bought 2 sandwiches, 2 times s, the price of the sandwich, okay, and a large drink. So he bought 2s, 2 sandwiches, plus $2.79. So we just had to identify the variables, coefficients, and terms in the expression. So the variable S stands for sandwiches. The coefficient is the number 2, and it's the number of sandwiches. T, the terms, is the total cost of sandwiches. And then 279 is the large drink, or 2S, I should have said this. 2S, this is the term. 2S is the total cost of the sandwiches. All right, let's move on. All right, number 8. I'm going to use a text box on this so it'll be a little bit easier for you to see what, and easier for you to read what I'm saying. So this says, a teacher writes the algebraic expression 24C plus 5M plus 1999 to represent the cost of supplies she purchased for her classroom. So she bought 24 packages of colored pencils, 5 packages of markers, and a beanbag chair. Identify any variables, coefficients, and terms in the expression. Tell what each represents. All right. Well, the C variable, you know that C is a variable. C represents the price of each package of colored pencils. Oops, pencils. All right, we have another variable, M. M represents the price of each package of markers. So that makes sense, right? C is for colored pencils, M is for markers. So those are your variables. The coefficients are the numbers. So 24 represents the number of packages of colored pencils. And I spelled this wrong. Represents the number of colored pencils. All right, and then the 5, what do you think the 5 represents? All right, 5 represents the number of packages of what? I hope you said markers. Good. All right, and then the terms. Okay, our terms are 24C. 24C represents the total cost of colored pencils. Okay, and the other term 5M represents the total cost of markers. And then 1999 represents the cost of the bean bag chair. All right, so a teacher writes the algebraic expression 24C plus 5N plus 1999 to represent the cost of supplies she purchased for her classroom. So she bought 24 packages of colored pencils, so 24 packages of, oh, it's up there. You still have it on your, I didn't make the text box big enough. All right, C is 24 packages of colored pencils, okay? All right, and then she bought 5 packages of markers. So 5M is 5 packages of markers. And then 1999 is for the beanbag chair. All right, let's move on to number 9. It says, write a situation that could be represented by the algebraic expression 3s plus 215. Well, let's see. You could put your name in there. So I'm going to use Rommel. Rommel buys. Okay, so 3s, what could that stand for? We can use our idea up that was up on the last page, sandwiches. Okay, so Rommel buys 3 sandwiches. That's 3s. Okay, for $S. We don't know what it is. This is just an expression. So he buys 3 sandwiches for $S each. Oops. And a drink for, and then we'll make that the 215. Okay, so 3s plus 215, if you're making up an expression, not an equation, is 3s. That would be 3 sandwiches, 3 times $S each, and a drink for 215. All right, let's move on. All right, so now we are going to evaluate some expressions. So the expression is 5m plus 26, but they're telling us what m equals. So 5m is 5 times 3, which is 15. So what we're doing here, I should have read the instructions. Check each answer to see whether the student evaluated the expression correctly. If the answer is incorrect, cross out the answer and write the correct answer. All right, so we've got 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, plus 26. Well, you know what? If you have scrap paper, all you have to do really is just add these together. 15 plus 26. So let's see what 15 plus 26 is. And we find out that that is 11, 2, 3, 4. So no, this one was wrong. So we crossed that out. That one's wrong. That one was done for us. All right, let's look at number 2. 8 times x plus 2, the sum of x plus 2 when x is 6. So this is our expression, and we're evaluating it now because they told us what the variable equals. All right, so we write it like this: 6 plus 2 times 8. Well, let's see if they did this right. So what you have to do is we do the parentheses first. So 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Wait a minute. Oh, no, that's wrong. They had 50. So no, you see, we can see that that was wrong. It's 64, not 50. So we can see that they did that one wrong. All right, let's look at the next one. 7p plus 5 when p equals 12. So let's do this. 7 times p, which is 12, plus 5. Okay, so we have to do this first. 7 times 12, which is 84. 84 plus 5. If we add those up, we find that it is 89. All right, so they have evaluated some of these incorrectly. Okay, they added wrong. Okay, all right, let's take a look at number 4. So q plus 9p when q equals 18. Oh, and p equals 4. All right, so we write it like that. Q plus 9p, so let me change this to a text box. All right, so we're going to write Q. They tell us that it's 18 plus 9p, 9 times p, so 9, and they tell us that p is 4, so we're going to multiply that. Okay, and we get equals 18 plus 9 times 4 is 36 equals, well, let's add 18 and 36, and when you do, go ahead and do that on your scrap paper. 18 and 36, we get 14, and then 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that one is correct. Okay, that one is correct. All right, so let's move on. All right, number 4 was right, so number 5 we're on, okay? So let's look at this. 6w minus 19 plus k is our expression. We evaluate it because they are telling us w equals 8 and k equals 2. So let's see if they did that right. And we'll pull up our marker here. So we've got 6, whoops, 6 times 2, or no, wait a minute. Oh, I see what they did. Okay. 6 times, okay, w is 8, okay, not 2. So we can see right away that they did that wrong because they put the wrong value in for the variable w, okay, and then minus 19, oops, plus k, and they put 8 in for k. So they have just mixed all that up. So they've got 6 times 2 is 12 minus 19 plus 8. Well, then you've got your 12 minus 9. That's just not going to work, right? So they did it wrong there. So we'll figure it out for them because they got that wrong. So 6 times 8 is 48. Minus 19 is, let's see, 48 minus 20 is 28, plus 1 is 29. plus 8. 29 plus 8 is... Okay, guys, let's look at 5. It should be 6 times 8. Can you see that they put the wrong value in for the variable w? They put 6 times 2 in. It's 6 times 8 minus 19 plus k is 2. That's, they put 8, it's 2 for k. So 48 minus 19 plus 2 is 31. So they got that one wrong. So we'll just mark that as wrong, and we corrected it. All right, this one, 12 times 3 is 36, plus 52 equals 36 plus 52. That's 88. That's correct. All right, and then number 7. Let's look at 7. Oh, hold on. Keep doing that, don't I? Okay, number 7. It says, check your answer to problem 2 by using a different strategy. All right, well, I know that Mr. Gregory has taught you this other strategy, but I'm going to remind you of it. X plus 2 when x is 6. So what we did was we added the 2 in the middle first, but we can do this by the distributive property as well. Okay, so we can do 8 times 6 plus, oops, I didn't put the other parentheses here, plus 8 times 2, 8 times 2, 8 times 2, and then we get the same answer. We get 48 plus 16, 48 plus 16 equals 54. 54, or I'm sorry, 64. Sorry about that. 64. All right, so what we did here in the distributive property is we did 8 times 2. We did 8 times 2. Oh my goodness, guys, I am sorry. Don't know what, let me see. So this was an 8. 8 times 2, or 8 times 6, plus 8 times 2. All right, I hope that you understood that. So the distributive property means that we do 8 times 2, and then we add, and then we go back and do 8 times 2. So 8 times 6 is 48, and 8 times 2 is 16, and we add them together. Alrighty. Okay, this last page I'm going to give you as independent work. I'm going to go over a couple examples, but I think you're ready to do this page on your own. So it says simplify or evaluate each exponential expression using the order of operations. So remember, on the order of operations, we do parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. So what you can do here, hold on. Okay, I'm going to do this in a text. I just think it's easier for you to see. So we're going to add what's in parentheses first, and we get 9. And then we have to find 9 to the 4th power. And remember, 9 to the 4th power is we put down the 9 times 9 times 9 times 9. So you may want to use a calculator for this. So when we get 9 times 9, it's 81. And then 81 times 9 is 729. So 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. And then 729 times 9 is 6,561. You don't really need to use a calculator. It's simple multiplication, but if you want to use a calculator, I think Mr. Gregory would probably be okay with that. All right, so on this one, we're going to do this first. Remember, order of operations, exponents first. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 equals, okay, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. So this is 81. And then we add the 6, and we get 87. You see how we do that? Okay, so remember on these, you have to do the order of operations. So you're going to do this exponents first. Okay, over here we did parentheses first. So over here, we have to do the exponent first. So let's do 4 cubed, which is 4 times 4 times 4, which equals 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And then we're going to multiply that 64, ran out of space here, this equals 64. Then we have to multiply that 64 by 2 times 2, and we get 8, and 6 times 2 is 12, 128, minus 1, 127 is our answer here. Okay? All right. I hope that helps. You go ahead and do the remaining ones. Just remember to follow PEMDAS and look back at these examples. All right. Have a great day. Bye.